So what's your favourite moment in the masterpiece that is the Star Wars Holiday Special?
The fact you can see the exact moment Harrison Ford just stopped giving a fuck about Star Wars. The Star Wars Holiday Special, to paraphrase the various reviews that have come out about it over the years, is a big old pile of shit. And it's noted that while he still had a stranglehold over the Star Wars brand, George Lucas made every attempt to bury it forever, only ever granting permission for a single official copy to be made, which he of course gave to Carrie Fisher.
So what's the story behind George Lucas trying to get rid of the special? Because we all know it was shit.
Yes, but the story goes that after the orbital bombardment from critics of the special, Lucas made every effort possible to erase it from Star Wars history and canon forever. And he turned out multiple requests from TV studios, asking to re-air it in their own, time zone, giving the special the dubious distinction of only ever being aired officially once. And he was hoping that, with time, people would forget. But unfortunately, people at home had obviously recorded the special because it was very hotly anticipated at the time. And there are dozens of bootleg copies of the special out there of varying degrees of quality, some of which still include the original ads that were placed alongside the special when it aired. And George Lucas, he fucking hates this fact. And there's a great quote from him. He said, "If I had time and a hammer, I would destroy every copy in existence." So he hates it that much. And it's one of the few things he ever actually refused to sign. So if people came up to him and obviously asked him to sign that, he'd always say, "Fuck this, no, I am not signing it."
Isn't it true that they tried to put it on the prequel, the release prequel DVD?
Yes. George Lucas has been asked multiple times, obviously while he was still in charge of Star Wars, and he said, no, it's not going on. The only time he ever relented was to put on the Boba Fett cartoon short that aired in the special as part of the Blu-ray anniversary release or some shit like that, but he has actively refused to ever put it in any DVD or special edition release of Star Wars while he had the ability to do that. I don't think anything sums up how shitty the special is more than the fact George Lucas didn't want it sullying the prequels. So that sums it up, doesn't it? But speaking of the prequels, Brad, the Star Wars Holiday Special does have a tenuous link to them because the Star Wars Holiday Special just so happens to be the first time the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk was ever shown officially in Star Wars canon. And obviously in the prequels, they go to Kashyyyk. And what the artists who were designing Kashyyyk had to do is go to George Lucas and ask for a copy of the Holiday Special so they could use it as a reference point for Kashyyyk in those movies, which apparently George Lucas was really annoyed about. But of course, it had to be done to ensure there were no visual inconsistencies between the Wookiee homeworld as shown in the special and as shown in the prequels. And the favourite bit is, though, the Holiday Special at the time is oh, this is the best depiction we've got of Wookiee culture. And I just want you to know, Brad, just put in a picture of what a Wookiee looked like in that show. That's what they had to use as reference for the fucking prequels. It's amazing.
They have weird pink lips, don't they?
Yeah, because obviously
they look like
they didn't have the money for the costume that they did for Chewbacca.
It's almost as creepy as Sonic.
Oh God, no! His weird fur lips and his awful gangly frame. You know what we're gonna do? Do you know what we're gonna do at the end of this fucking video? Because if you mention it, I'm gonna read through the Wikipedia page for the Sonic fucking movie because it is hilarious. For reference, we're recording this the day after the trailer came out. We know it sucks, and maybe they made changes when this airs, but that's gonna be a last. We'll do it in a bit. But do you want to know a fun fact about the Chewbacca costume and all the Wookiee costumes?
What?
They were made of human hair.
Oh,
real human hair.
That's even creepier.
So it's you know what? Look at this picture right here. Look at that. Obviously small child. They're wearing a mask of human hair. That's a human hair mask. Just think about it. George Lucas insisted upon it. That was really hot. That dramatic sit was not very dramatic. Look how bad it looks. It's so shit.
I'm assuming, considering how much of a control freak Lucas is, when they created something that was horrific, he would turn around and say that it wasn't to do with him.
Yeah, he's tried to do that over the years, and depending on what interview you look at, he either claims that he had nothing to do with it or only had very little to do with it. But that's a claim counteracted by people who actually worked on the special. So obviously George Lucas, well known for being a control freak when it came to anything Star Wars related. They said not only did he review dailies, so the footage they shot that day, to sign off on it, he personally signed off on every addition and detail they had to ensure that it fit with his vision of Star Wars canon, which obviously he's not very happy about because it's so fucking bad. But I love the idea that he just signed off. He saw this fucking abomination. That's a Wookiee. That's my Wookiee right there. That's a member of the Chewbacca race right there. As an aside, have you ever heard about all the bullshit George has done with his own universe? So obviously he created it, and while he obviously was in charge of Star Wars, anything that came out of his mouth instantly became canon. But obviously he didn't know the universe as well as some of the fans did. Because obviously he might have created the world, but his fans live in it. They're the ones who read all the novels multiple times. And there are things where he would mispronounce Wookiee or spell it differently in the scripts. Because he forgot how to write the word Wookiee, a word he coined, and shit like that. Oh, it was a great one where it's, I think they were going to make a Darth Maul action game, akin to Devil May Cry or something like that. And George Lucas came in to look at, the footage and the gameplay they got so far. In fact, this game was going to be fucking awesome. Darth Maul combos, man. And the story goes that when George Lucas was going to come in and, look at what the company had so far, a representative from Lucasfilm came in before him and said, just before you meet Mr. Lucas, just one thing, don't correct him on anything Star Wars related. He doesn't like that. If you do, you'll be asked to leave immediately. And he came in, and he's looking around the office, and it's a statue of Darth Maul. So, that's pretty cool, that's the Darth Maul. And apparently there's a statue of another member of his race. I don't know who the statue was of, but George Lucas apparently went up to it, put them both together and went, they're friends. And what the people there wanted to correct him on is the fact that those two characters live centuries apart. So what the game had to become was, so we can't do Darth Maul because obviously Darth Maul was dead, and it's going to be Darth Maul with robot legs after surviving getting cut in half. And instead, they had to rewrite the story to be, it's Darth Maul's descendant in the future or some shit. And the story got so convoluted they just canned the entire thing. Because obviously they wanted to correct you, say, well, actually, no, those characters live hundreds of years apart. And he's like, no, they're friends, make it work, and left. And it's like, okay, thanks, George. We can't have a Darth Maul character action game, thanks to you. Great. Instead, we've got The Force Unleashed. Oh, man, The Force Unleashed, I love that game. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the main character from The Force Unleashed is the main character from Days Gone. He's also the voice of the Emperor in cartoons. To bring it back to the holiday special about how, controlling George Lucas was of Star Wars, a great tidbit from people who've, worked on them is that in addition to viewing dailies and signing off on everything, George Lucas would also provide helpful hints on how to make scenes better. And to accompany that fact, Brad, just put in any scene from the special now so we can all see all the great improvements and suggestions that George Lucas made.
Thing is, I've seen this holiday special.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
But everyone's in it. They got the entire cast back.
Yeah, the people, again, I wouldn't be surprised if people aren't seeing it because it's not even it's so bad it's funny, it's just bad. So I wouldn't recommend anyone go see it even though it is available for free on YouTube because every time it gets taken down, some other fucker uploads it. But yeah, they managed to somehow get every member of the principal cast of A New Hope to reprise their role, apparently for not very much money, which is presumably why Harrison Ford looks so pissed off. Because a part of their agreement was, we'll come back and do it, because it's you've got us for a day, and they made him just like they made Han Solo, Harrison Ford, just walk around these fucking ugly Wookiee creatures. Given how shitty the final product was, it probably comes as no surprise to everyone at home that most of the actors involved with it said working on the holiday special was a terrible, horrendous experience, with the sole exception of Carrie fucking Fisher.
So did Carrie Fisher actually like the Star Wars holiday special?
Oh yeah, and apparently she did it for free. She was the one person who didn't ask for payment for being in the special, and apparently her only stipulation was that she got to sing, because she just wanted to sing, and George Lucas, I guess you can sing, and she sings this really terrible, god-awful song, where you can clearly see she's just fucking either she's high on something, I'm going to say, her eyes are not focused on fucking anything, and she just sings this terrible fucking Christmas-esque Life Day song. It's Life Day is like the Christmas of the Star Wars universe.
So how did Carrie Fisher end up with a copy of the special?
In a similar manner to how she ended up appearing in the special in the first place, as a favour. Because it's reported that George Lucas wanted Carrie Fisher to record a commentary track for a DVD special at some point in time. And she again said, I will do it for free on one condition. You give me a copy of the holiday special. And George Lucas said, well, no, I'll pay. He said, no, that's my sole condition. If we can't agree on that, I'm not going to do it. And obviously George Lucas begrudgingly went and got, he apparently owns the only other copy, because obviously he owns a copy of everything. Yeah. And he went up and got a copy made, the only official one in existence, and gave it to Carrie Fisher, and she did the commentary track for that particular DVD box set.
Now, you know what I think happened? He went to Spielberg and he went, we got to go back. And them two went to that pit in the desert where they buried the E.T. game and where they buried the holiday special.
Just the forgotten media that they want to bury.
And then they had to dig up a copy of it and clean it off and give it it to her.
I just gave it to Carrie Fisher. And do you know what my favourite part about this entire story is? So I was like, someone asked Carrie Fisher, I was like, why did you want a copy of this thing so bad? It's like, it's legendarily terrible. And she went, oh yeah, I know it is. I like to play it at house parties and I want people to leave. Which is the most Carrie Fisher thing in the fucking world, and I love it. So I've tracked down, as I promised earlier in the video, like the Wikipedia page for the Sonic movie, because me and Brad read it earlier, because the trailer came out yesterday, and we were laughing, howling, at just like how just matter-of-factly the Wikipedia page is written. And it's annoying because today, we were actually going to do a bit about like a piece of our merch being taken down in tangential relation to Star Wars, but fuck it, this is way better, because fuck promoting our own stuff. Let's talk about this shitty Sonic movie now. I'm now on the Wikipedia page on what date it says, the 31st of April. So obviously changes may be made to it, but I'm reading a copy of it as it was on the 31st of April. And we'll start with like, just the introduction, because obviously we're all on the same page, aren't we? And then we'll skip to the good stuff. So Sonic the Hedgehog is an upcoming adventure comedy film distributed by Paramount Pictures and based on the Sega video game franchise. The film is directed by Jeff Fowler and written by Patrick Casey, Josh Miller and Oren Uziel from a story by Rob Van Robichaux and Evan Susar. The film stars Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic, and Jim Carrey as Sonic's nemesis, Dr. Robotnik, alongside James Marsden, Tika Sumpter, Adam Paley, and Neil McDonough. In the film, a small-town sheriff assists Sonic as he attempts to escape the government. Right, so there's the plot of the film, basically.
There's 30 days in April. It's the 1st of May today.
Oh, is it? Fuck! I've got to pay my council tax. Damn it, it's late! Cock! Ah!
When you said it, I was like, hang on, it says 1st of May on this.
Is it?
computer.
Oh, bollocks. I thought there were 31 days. Oh, I've got to pay my council tax yesterday. Oh, I'm going to get a letter. Bollocks. Oh, anyway, you know what? Let's talk about Sonic. Oh.
There's like a minute there where there's going to be people going, wait, what?
Yeah, oh, fuck's sake. Right, yeah. I thought it was the 31 day. I was a bit out of it yesterday. We were a bit drunk. You know what? Fuck it. Right, so casting. This is where it gets interesting. The development is funny, but obviously casting is where it gets good. On May 29th, 2018, it was reported that Paul Rudd was in talks for a lead in the role as Tom, a cop who befriends Sonic and will likely team up to defeat Dr. Eggman, but it was later denied.
By Paul Rudd, I assume.
I'm assuming, yeah. A day later, it's announced that James Marsden was cast in an undisclosed role, but later revealed to be Tom Wachowski. In June 2018, Tika Sumpter was cast. Jim Carrey was cast to play the villain Dr. Robotnik. In August 2018, Ben Schwartz joined the cast as voicing the title character. A few days later, other people were cast, other chuckle fucks. Right. Boring as fuck, right? But I just like the idea that Paul Rudd was rumoured and then they immediately denied it. Even he didn't want anything to do with this movie.
If they asked him and he was like, I'm immortal, but even I don't have time for that.
Design. The production team created a realistic version of Sonic. You fucking too right they did. Adding fur, new running shoes, and 2 separate eyes. No, wait, sorry. Fur, running shoes, 2 separate eyes, and then there's the little link to where you can go spotting then, and a more human-like physique. Brad, you just want to put the picture of Sonic's new human-like physique? Oh, so bad. And here's why it cracks me up. Are you ready? They used Ted, the living teddy bear from the Ted films, as a reference of how to insert a CG character into a real-world setting. So I don't know about you, but I don't think any movie that uses Seth MacFarlane as an example of what to do in a movie is going to be all that good. But that's just me. All right. Executive producer Tim Miller said, in regards to Sonic's new, more human-like physique and fur, it would be weird and it would feel like he was running around nude if he was some sort of otter-like thing. He's a fucking hedgehog dickhead. It's in his name. You're working on him called Sonic the Hedgehog and you just show him as an... Oh.
I would much rather them have made him look more like the actual Sonic and given him a pair of fucking underpants.
Yeah. Which is great.
Put him in trousers.
The thing is, though, he looks more naked because he's got the human physique.
Yeah.
If he'd have been more like anthropomorphized, it'd be okay. It's like
It's like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Both of them when they were brought in.
Looney Tunes back in action.
They're all naked.
Yeah.
Just because they've got cartoonish figures. We're used to seeing it as well.
Yeah. The more human-like you make him look, the weirder. It's more. You know what gets me? It's the fact his hands have fur, which means he has fur on the palm of his hands. Just for a moment, imagine shaking someone's hand, Brad. But that hand's furry. It's not nice, is it? Right, anyway, let's continue. Right. Tim Miller, in regards to this, said, it will be weird and it will feel like he's running around nude if he was some sort of otter-like thing. It was always for us fur and we never considered anything different. It's part of what integrates him into the real world and makes him a real creature. Picture to my right, a real creature in the eyes of the executive producer of this movie. According to Miller, this is my favourite bit, Sega was not entirely happy with the design, especially Sonic's eyes.
Oh my god.
What are you looking at now?
I just typed in Sonic the Hedgehog to look at some pictures, and some guy's done a photoshopped version of it to look like
the real.
Oh yeah, like. It's amazing.
All the photoshops are. You can put it behind me and credit the dude if you want.
That one.
Yeah, there's.
It looks perfect.
Yeah, put some of them behind me if you like. Obviously, credit the people who've done it.
Yeah.
Like props to them. I remember
them two next to each other makes it look even worse. It's like a kid in a costume.
That's the picture you put because we're getting on to now marketing. Test footage was screened at the Comic-Con experience in Brazil in December 6th, 2018. There's no feedback here from that, but a teaser poster was released on December 10th, 2018, revealing the redesigned Sonic. The design received a mostly negative response from critics and fans and was likened to another 2019 video game film adaptation, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which added fur and skin textures to Pokemon characters. Former members of Sonic Team, who created the original Sonic the Hedgehog games, expressed surprise at the design. The diplomatic way of saying it looks like shit, but we don't want to burn that bridge just yet. A second poster for the film was leaked online shortly after. Fans complained of the lack of resemblance to the games and criticised the positioning of Sonic's legs. That's the one where his legs were all really wide apart and the camera was at Sonic's dick height, spawning an internet meme in which users recreated the position. The official Twitter account for the film posted an image of Sonic behind a sign reading, "Can't a guy work out?" Images of the Sonic design leaked on March 2019 to more fan criticism. Former Sonic Team president Yuji Naka was shocked by the design and felt the ratio of Sonic's head and abdomen was imbalanced.
Surprise. Shock.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the word you use when you try to put it diplomatically, that you don't like it. But it gets better. The first trailer premiered on April 4th, 2019 at Comic-Con Las Vegas and was released online on April 30th, which is apparently the last day I met. April, fuck it me. Always remember pay council tax, kids. The trailer received near unanimous criticism, with Kotaku calling it horrific and a blight upon this weary earth. Commentators took issue with Sonic's design, in particular stating he more resembles a human in a Sonic costume than Sonic himself. The use of Coolio's Gangster Paradise's background music was also questioned and viewed as unfitting. Conversely, CNET, who I now know to never trust their opinion on anything, praised the humour and close references to the games. The film is slated for release later this year. Oh my god, that is amazing. It's the fact, though, that members of Sonic Team were like, we were shocked, surprised at the redesign. It's so bad. He's got furry lips.
I didn't realise how unbelievably horrific it looks when you put it next to someone who's redesigned it to look more like Sonic.
Well, I'm sure there's like ones behind me now.
Yeah.
There's a great picture somewhere online, like someone made do you know the first teaser poster?
Yeah.
Someone made one, I think it's like basically Sonic stepping out of a glowing ring. And it's like the same tagline, the same post, and it's called like, a new speed of hero or something. And there's a great reaction to it going, I don't see what's so wrong with that. The fan one looks weird. And then the next comment is, oh no. Oh, as they realise that the bad-looking one's the real one. It's like, oh. But Brad, why does he have furry lips and human teeth? Why? Why does he have furry...
Maybe because, the only thing I can think of is that it's easier to do mocap if the face is similar to a human
But why
face.
Why does he have furry lips and human teeth? Why, Brad? So that's the thing, it makes him look more realistic, like he belongs in our world. No animal in our world has furry fucking lips. Like the closest you say is, if you're going to be an ape, apes they don't have fur on their palms. They don't have fur on their face. Because obviously, if you're going to have that, it's so bad. I don't understand how it's so bad.
Well, no animal has fur on their palms.
No, yeah.
Anything with paws and things. Because obviously it's constantly in contact.
Yeah.
It's one of the only places on your body where you don't have hair.
And then, but for some reason, which means it plays in my theory that Sonic is a genetic abomination. He's that thing from Aliens, Resurrection, where Ripley goes in and burns it with a flamethrower. And he's going to go into a lab and find all the other failed Sonics. They'll somehow look even worse. And then the real Sonic's going to come with a flamethrower and just burn him. So yeah, look forward to that, huge piece of shit Sonic fans. But you know what? That's the level of quality you deserve in a film with the quality of the games in recent years. I'm just putting it out there. Oh.